A former Nottinghamshire social worker has told the Child Sex Abuse Inquiry that paedophile rings were allowed to select British children for deportation.
Margaret Humphreys has been giving evidence about her battle to get justice for thousands of former child migrants. Our social affairs correspondent Jeremy Ball is at her charity's headquarters in West Bridgford for us now. So Jeremy, what did she say?
Well, Margaret Humphreys gave really powerful evidence about what happened to people like these who the Child Migrants Trust has supported here, people who were sent to countries like Australia as children. And she described how some kids who reported being victims of sexual abuse were flogged in public, how others ran away but simply weren't believed when they told the police what had happened, and how they were then returned to their abusers to be punished. And Dr. Humphreys said that it's taken her 3 decades for these failures to be properly acknowledged, that some children suffered brutality on a scale that hasn't been seen outside war. And she said successive British governments knew they were sending children to institutions that weren't suitable.
People from another country coming here, visiting children's homes, selecting children for deportation, and now we learn that it was known that some of the institutions were, quite frankly, paedophile rings. I mean, it just beggars belief, doesn't it, that that was known, and the children kept going.
So Jeremy, what can this inquiry hope to achieve after all these years?
Well, Margaret Humphreys called today for substantial compensation for child migrants who are still alive, and she said they'll need professional support for some time to come. She's also calling for compulsory training for social workers to deal with historical abuse. And she read a really powerful letter that was sent to a 15-year-old who was desperate to trace his parents. Now, an agency had written back to him to say he'd been orphaned as a baby, but then staff here at the Child Migrants Trust found his family still alive. And she said the government still isn't dealing with what she described as these legacy issues effectively. She said there's also real urgency now because many of these survivors are ageing and they don't have time on their side.
Jeremy in West Bridgford for us tonight. Thank you very much.